Welcome to the Left Wing King podcast. Today we're diving into the 5 most surprising picks for Trump's 2024 administration. I am your HMIC, your head moderator in charge, Malik, and I'm joined today by King Ace.
What up, what up?
King Dr. Sizer.
Hello.
And Queen Tina on those comments. All right. So let me go ahead and break this down, how this is going to work for us today. So we're going to go all over the topics that we're talking about today. And then once we're done, we're going to go ahead and circle back, answer some of your comments. So make sure that you're leaving your comments on Facebook and on YouTube. And then after we're done with answering those questions and comments, we're going to try to take a few phone calls today and see how that goes down. So be careful. Don't please believe I will hang up on your ass, okay, if you tripping. So just let that be known.
Don't be breathing hard and shit.
Yeah, we don't need none of that nastiness and shit going on. So let's get it cracking. Over the past week, Donald Trump has been feverishly selecting cabinet members. These selections have raised eyebrows and sparked conversations across the political spectrum. So today we're going to share our top 5 head scratches from Trump's 2024 cabinet picks. We're going to start off with Tulsi Gabbard. Donald Trump picked Tulsi Gabbard to serve as the Director of National Intelligence. Gabbard has absolutely no experience in the intelligence community and has spoken positively about foreign adversaries. Ace, what are some of your concerns about this pick?
Let me start off like this, man. It's just scary to see Trump just fucking putting together the Legion of Doom right in front of our fucking faces like that, man. This is just some diabolical shit.
Definitely.
But Tulsi Gabbard, first, what is a Director of National Intelligence, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a cabinet position to where they oversee all the intelligence agencies, the 18 agencies that we have available. That's scary. I don't know if you know anything about Tulsi Gabbard, but she pretty much is in bed with Russia. She kind of blames Ukraine on America and NATO. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
She backs Putin. So we're actually saying we're going to put the number one adversary, or somebody who just really backs Russia and Syria, in charge of all of our national secrets, pretty much, because that's what the intelligence is, pretty much.
Don't seem like a good idea to me.
Like, I mean, you know, we thought he was fucking Putin before. It's like, what the fuck? Like, the one person that you probably don't want to have having all the secrets to what we're gonna do.
Exactly.
That's who you're putting in charge.
All the secrets. Like you said, she's over all intelligence agencies.
You know, it's funny how we forget this time last year, we was worried and concerned about what this dude did when he was in Mar-a-Lago, giving away secrets. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So
top secret documents, just sharing them with motherfuckers.
Just, you know, having them in the restroom where you can just read them when you're in there taking a shit. Mm-hmm. Now you put this lady in charge. So I mean, it's nuts, man. I just don't get it at all. I don't understand this one at all. I mean, this is the person that every morning hands the national intelligence or the intelligence briefing in the morning, which he don't fucking read probably anyway. But
that's what I was going to point out when you said that those documents were in the bathroom and he was reading. Like, that probably wasn't happening.
Yeah. So, like I said, once again, it's scary. I know people probably turned off the news because the election's over and they're not worrying about it and they're not paying attention. But this is where the stuff gets scary when you ain't paying attention, you ain't looking. Things like this happen. The people that are being appointed that you're not electing are the ones that are going to be doing the most damage to you.
Absolutely. I agree wholeheartedly. First of all, Tulsi Gabbard and the head of intelligence, that's like an oxymoron. Because she absolutely parrots Russian propaganda.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so that is in and of itself, it's a problem. And many in the foreign intelligence apparatus have already said that they're simply not going to share information with America.
Yeah.
just because
Wow.
you know it would jeopardize any of their assets as well as any efforts that they have to protect and defend their democracy.
But let me touch on that for a second, man, because not only does that fucks us up, because a lot of the times we don't find out about shit on our own. We find out from other countries that we're going to be attacked or that something is happening out there. So if other countries cut us off because they don't want to share intelligence with us, we're pretty much fucked.
I mean, you know, Russia's the enemy. I think people don't understand that. Like,
not to
Russia,
they are historically have been our enemy for nearly 75 years.
Yeah, I mean, like when it comes to enemies, Russia's kind of like up there in enemies. Like their whole way of life, everything that they do and what we do just don't mix and go together. You know what I'm saying? We've got to, you know, we've been having arms races. I mean, it's a lot of shit that happened. So like, yeah, they ain't nobody to play with. Like, we don't do things in their favor. You know what I'm saying?
No.
And so we're putting one person, you know, their head fucking cheerleader in charge of all our goddamn national intelligence. I mean, that ain't happening by no accident. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Well, you got to remember when Trump was in office before, he had a grand idea after meeting with Putin that they would collectively create some sort of organization or entity that was going to look at cyber intelligence and cyber warfare. And it's like, what, you're sitting right next to the guy that is heading up the whole operation over there. So you want us to give him our playbook.
Yeah.
Because he's not going to give us his.
Nah, that ain't going to happen at all, man. So, I mean, you know, my biggest fear of this administration, I tell a lot of people, you know, we look at it domestically. It's always been the fear of foreign policy and how we look in the world stage. That's always been my biggest fear. You know what I'm saying? And I think this just fucking puts everything in perspective. Like, this is crazy. You know what I'm saying?
If we look, we could say we could survive 4 years of Donald Trump.
Yeah.
It's the things that are going to happen that go long beyond his presidency that are going to impact us or our children.
Yeah.
You know, this dude is pushing 80.
Yeah.
He got far more years behind him than he got ahead of him. And I tell you, the Grim Reaper, he you know, he keep missing.
He's looking right over that full shoulder.
He keep missing, dude, but he's standing around the corner. He got his eyes on him.
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
Hey, but one thing that scares me, man, about all of this is like, you know, like you said, there's far-reaching impacts. It's going to happen after the fact. Like what's happening downstream from this, and one of those things is, you know, the impact that it's going to have on our military from the choice that they made for that with Pete Hegseth. So I want to talk a little bit about that with you guys, because that was a bad pick too.
No.
The irony is with him and with Gabbard, both had served in the Army reserves.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And no disrespect to Army reservists, but I mean that experience is probably not the same.
Reservists.
It's different. It's definitely different.
It's not the same as being active.
No.
Right.
However, you know, no disrespect, but you're probably not getting enough experience to oversee the entire Pentagon.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, even if he was active duty, bro, I mean, it really depends on your rank and your responsibility. And if he's not up there, like at a high level, he's not really commanding a group of individuals that's even anywhere near as large as that the command over the Pentagon.
He has more experience playing Battleship and Risk
than
he has directing anything.
Yeah.
You know, I would think that, I believe he was a captain.
Yeah.
So he potentially may have had 40 people under him.
So let me break that down real quick for y'all, for our viewers real quick, just to kind of give them some insight into this. Donald Trump nominated Pete Hegseth for the Secretary of Defense. So Hegseth basically is a Fox News host and a veteran. Like you said, he was a captain in the military, but he's known for his strong opinions on the military, and he has some kind of wild opinions out there too. Now, his appointment signals a shift towards a more aggressive defensive strategy. So I'm going to ask you, Larry, Dr. Sizer, what does Trump expect Hegseth to do in the role?
He wants a yes man.
Mhm.
That's what he wants in all his positions. He favors loyalty over experience, and understanding.
Mm-hmm.
You got to remember this Fox News host is replacing a black man who's a 4-star general
Mhm.
in his background. So I mean, just please understand that's what they think about you.
Exactly.
You can take this guy, a Fox News host, and a young white Fox News host has more experience or equal in terms of experience with a black 4-star general. That's that's troubling in and of itself. And you talked about some of his beliefs. He doesn't believe that women should serve in combat roles.
Mm-hmm.
The reality is you have Donald Trump. Donald Trump was, his nation called him. He found he got 5 deferments on his for bone spurs.
Yeah. And
then proceeded to win some trophy on the baseball team and soccer team. So he was not as troubled or harmed as hurt as he made portrayed.
It sound. Right.
That's the favor he got from the position of his father.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of black people, a lot of black veterans in that time, or young black youth who were drafted didn't have that opportunity, or young people in general, young Caucasians. You poor, they drafted you. You didn't have the resources to get you out of that situation. Now, this gentleman wants to say that women can't go, but you have to understand. I know there's one, I believe she's a senator of Asian descent, and she was a helicopter pilot during I think Desert Storm. Got her legs blown off.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You got women fighter pilots.
Yeah.
You're just going to tell them to sit down and when you don't have white males, because of course this is when they're looking at things in terms of society, my belief is that that's what they're looking at. That's a prototypical gung-ho, want to go fight somebody individual to go out there. But a lot of times those people don't exist.
Yeah.
It's a lot different. If you have somebody that has the passion, or we take an oath to the Constitution and want to go defend the Constitution, it ain't like running around grandpa's backyard shooting at paper targets.
No.
Yeah.
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 No, I mean, let's just Secretary of Defense. I mean, I may want that guy, been in a war or two, overseeing some troops, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's one of those positions, like, I kind of want somebody who's kind of deep rooted in the military to be behind. And I'm not taking, look, I was a reservist. Hey, don't get me wrong. It's some reservists that are active duty reservists that put in the time. And there may be somebody who's qualified to come from the reserve side of it, you know what I'm saying, that actually is qualified, but this dude isn't. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He's the typical weekend warrior guy. I was that guy that, I went 2 weeks out of the year and did my time and went, 1 weekend out of the month. You know what I'm saying?
Served your country.
Yeah, you served your country and you did that. But this guy does not fit the bill, especially coming from the guy and the guys that preceded him that are there.
Right.
It's bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like we're purposely being weakened.
Ain't no other way to say it.
That is, and who would, when you have that situation, you have to look to see who would benefit from that.
Yeah, who would benefit from that?
Thank you.
Like, I don't want the Secretary of Defense, the guy who's, over our troops and protecting the country. I don't want that guy to not have any experience in not doing that and doing that shit on a whim.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So who's going to benefit from Tulsi Gabbard's appointment?
Oh yeah, it's Russia.
Russia. Who would benefit from this guy Hegseth being in his position? Russia. I mean, at some point, there's probably a path.
And China, and
China.
And I guarantee you, Putin ain't appointing no guy over there that ain't got no experience in fighting no wars as Secretary of damn Defense.
But this gentleman also has, he was disciplined for, he was going to participate in something, and he was disciplined for having white nationalist tattoos.
Oh yeah, we
So
already know
you
that.
probably know that's, you know, somewhere in there. That's probably an ideology that he adheres to. You know,
Oh, yeah.
if I was to go over a Caucasian individual's house and I see a hooded robe in the closet,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
probably going to believe that I'm not going to show up for any barbecues at their house.
Yeah, he probably got SS tattoos, which is
Y'all crazy. Hey, one thing I do want to focus too on with this dude is he's made some statements around diversity, equity, and inclusion in the military. I think it was something similar to it's the worst thing that's ever happened to the military. You know what I'm saying? Like, and whether I don't know what he means when he says that. Is he just talking about women because he said that statement about women? Is he talking about Black people being integrated into the military? Because we know that was something that happened way back in the day, but it happened. Is he talking about LGBTQ? I don't know. I need to hear from this dude what the hell he's talking about, because at the end of the day, if he's saying that people who are and I've been to DC, I've been to like different museums and shit where African Americans made some hellified contributions to the military.
Yeah.
Women too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they've given up a shitload to contribute to our country and protect us. And to say that like diverse DEI is the worst thing that ever happened to the military, that's like really insulting to a lot of different people.
Well, it's only one set of people that feel that they have that privilege or are obligated to that. Every race, every gender has spilled blood in this country one way or the other, have fought in every damn war in this country. Everybody can go back there and say that pretty much, or in one or two wars. Everybody has skin in the game when it comes to the military. So when you're talking about DEI, that's ridiculous.
Well, you can guarantee that the same people were they had the same concerns when it came to integrating the military, Blacks into the military. It was the same argument. He pulling from the same playbook, period. So, you know, the reality is you would look at him, he's a DEI hire.
Yeah.
Why would he not be? He's not qualified for the position. This is nothing but taking us back to the good old boy network.
Yeah.
Exactly.
This is why you needed DEI, because if you didn't have any sort of thing that could try to level the playing field, you simply would have people, like-minded people from the same race, with the same experience, who would be offered the positions, because that is their nature.
Yeah.
Well, it's my nature to tell you to click the like button. Just like your boy, Warba, who said the algorithmic activity that he's putting down to help support his fellow kings. I want you to do it. Click the like button. Also, make sure that you subscribe to Left Wing Kings to see more content like this, and watch us live every Saturday. And make sure that you're sharing this on all of your social media platforms out there. All right. Thank you, Warba. Feeling the love from you. Now, I want to step into the next discussion, because the next one is actually somebody who's like going to be protecting our homeland, and that's Kristi Noem. Donald Trump selected Kristi Noem as his choice for Secretary of Homeland Security. Noem, the governor of South Dakota, is known for her strong stance on border security and refusal to implement a statewide mask mandate during the COVID-19 pandemic. So, Ace, what impact will this have on immigration enforcement and border security?
Man, I thought Kristi Noem's ass went away after we found out she was shooting a damn dog.
She back.
You know, she's a talked up Trump supporter that, you know, sent the South Dakota National Guard to Texas, you know, to Greg Abbott to protect the border. That wasn't nothing down here happening, you know, Manchester. First and foremost, why the fuck would a person from South Dakota know anything about it?
I'm glad you went there, because that's what I was gonna say. What border? What border does South Dakota share with anywhere? Now I can tell you this.
Other than North fucking Dakota.
I've been to North Dakota. Yeah. Okay. And I actually was at a place that was 8 miles away from the Canadian border. And if you went to that border, there was a railroad thing that comes down and blocks the road. You drive up to it, you lift it up, you drive into Canada, you turn around, get out your car, put it back down, and you're in Canada. Well, nobody's standing there. Why is nobody? That would probably be a good place for her to start. Versus
maybe start at your boy.
She can't even. There's 20% of her state that she has no access to, because the Indians, the Native Americans, have barred her from coming to their reservations.
Wow.
So
yeah, I
Tells you what kind of leader she is.
Yeah, I don't get it. And once again, if 9/11 came, those people came through the north border. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them, they came through the Canadian border. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So why we decided to put her in charge of Homeland Security, I have no idea. They were, you remember the dog shooting incident came out when they were trying to see if she was going to be a vice president nomination. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So that kind of threw off of that railroad when she did that. So the scary part about it, not only is Homeland Security is she in charge of immigration, but she's in charge of the Coast Guard, and she's in charge of Secret Service.
Terrorism.
Yeah. Once again, another non-qualified person that's a loyalist that you're putting there. So
a DEI hire.
yeah, so you can have somebody and somebody loyal there, but also I think it's just smoke and mirrors, man. It's just to make it look like, hey, we're doing something. She's tough on immigration. She sent the National Guard down there to have a vacation in Texas because they didn't do shit because was no epidemic down here, nobody to chase off.
She's also a woman of a family woman of strong Christian values, who was involved in an extramarital affair with Corey Lewandowski. So she shares that with Donald Trump. So
hey, a lot of the people who he's putting in his cabinet seem to have some sexual assault or allegations of sexual misconduct.
All of them got in caught cases in one way or the other, man. They just
almost caught cases.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's the fucking Legion of Doom, man. I tell you,
that's
man,
part of the problem. No one gets convicted.
They putting together a whole array of villains. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Well, that one of the goals that what was it Steve Bannon was talking about was destroying the administrative state.
Mm-hmm.
That's literally what they're doing.
That's what they're doing.
That is what they're doing. I mean, remember Trump's first presidency? He put the gentleman in charge of the post office.
Yeah.
Right.
I could get mail in 3 days. After his ass came in, damn mail take 3 weeks. Mails couldn't find mail. They taking apart the machines in the back, and he didn't improve anything. The mail system been broke ever since.
Yeah. No, it's definitely pointing to the goals of what Project 2025 said they're going to do. And once again, this is the time that this lame duck presidential period. This is when the damage is being done. Man.
Yes.
And I know there's a lot of people asleep at the wheel, and when come January 20th turns around, they're going to be like, what the fuck?
Exactly. Well, part of my frustration is that, again, the Democrats, sometimes you got to meet people where they at.
Yeah.
And they're trying to be dignified and honorable and noble people. Like Biden invited Trump to the White House.
All that.
He didn't invite you.
Nope.
I'm like, and then y'all sitting up in the picture smiling with him.
Yeah.
You should have punched him in his face.
Ain't no awards for that shit.
I'm not advocating violence.
Yes, you are.
I'm not saying that, but I'm saying, you could have at least slapped him in the face with the white glove.
Yeah, here's my
challenge him to a duel or a race or something.
Here's my deal on that shit. Like, why you let that dude show up?
Thank you.
Like this nigga did a whole hissy fit back, when he lost the election to where he wasn't going to concede.
Well, all of a sudden this one was fair.
Yeah,
you ain't heard nothing about the
How
day
you
of the
never heard?
election. He's saying they're cheating. Oh, they're cheating here.
Yeah.
Now you ain't heard nothing.
Yeah. And now you gonna have nerve to even show up and accept that shit after you went through all this shit. Like, oh, this election's good. Nigga, but the last one wasn't though. Nigga. Like,
but let me tell you this, man. I think at the end of the day, man, he, like you said, he's trying to destroy democracy. He's putting all the people in place to do what he said he would do. He said he was. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
Ain't none of these people that he's bringing in like mistakes.
No.
He said he's gonna stop DEI. He said he's gonna do all type of stuff, and he said he's gonna fuck with the justice system, and that's why he's bringing in Matt Gaetz. So let's talk about him next. Donald Trump Donald Trump nominated Matt Gaetz to serve as the U.S. Attorney General. Gaetz has little experience as an attorney and was under federal investigation and congressional investigation for sex trafficking. Larry, what should we expect Gaetz to do as the top law official of the land?
I could just repeat this. He's going to be a yes man. He is going to be he's going to be the leader of Donald Trump's effort to exert lawfare against his perceived enemies.
Exactly.
That is what he is going to do.
Yep.
He's going to facilitate chaos. He has no moral compass. He behaves like a college frat boy.
Yeah.
That's all that's what he is. In fact, I guess this week they had the ethics report on his behavior. Now, why charges were never brought before? You know, I think a lot of things get slow rolled and things are overthought. But this report was gonna be very disparaging to him. So what he did was he resigned his position.
Yeah.
Before
they could
release it. And so then now they're saying again, here we go back to the rules and the norms, you know, of well, he's not sitting, so it's no point of us releasing. The hell, you should release it because he's trying to get another government position.
There's a bigger reason to release it now than there was before.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely, because he's going to have the ability to impact considerably more people than he did that were in his district.
Yep.
Or you know, in his former position.
Yep.
So this is one of those situations where Biden, as president, needs to say, "Give me that damn report and put it out there," because that's what they would do.
They sure would.
To me, it is just so frustrating to you know, you got to meet people where they at.
Yeah.
You know,
we can't keep going low when they go. We can't keep going high when they go low. We got to stop that shit.
We got to grab a damn shovel,
yeah,
and start digging and say we going low. We go. You think you low? Watch this. Give me that shovel.
Oh, because we can go low.
You know what I'm saying? But we don't.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not saying we because, you know, I'm absolutely not a staunch Democrat. In my lifetime, I'll probably never be a Republican because I don't share a lot of their ideas, you know, and I
can't vote against my own
interests. I'm probably a lot closer to needing social programs than I am tax breaks.
Right.
You know, if I hit the lottery tonight, maybe I'll change.
Exactly.
But I you know, I don't simply go and cape for Democrats. No, I cape for some ideology. Right. You know, there's some things. You know, I personally believe that individuals who are reasonable and think logically have, you know, there's things in the Republican Party that you'd appreciate, as well as things in the Democrat Party that you would appreciate.
Oh yeah.
But any extremes, not really for.
Yeah.
And so I think we're in a position with Matt Gaetz where this guy has already told you, I'm going after my enemies. So everybody who stood against him, this is dictator fascist.
Yes.
Book
101.
Page 101. So, you know, get ready.
Yes.
You know.
Well, yeah, first off, you sound very independent, brother. You come on over to the team, brother. You want to be on the independent side.
Oh, I think he always has been.
I think I am.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Matt Gaetz got rid of some reason inside of my head, I don't know, being old, but he got rid of the Speaker of the House,
Kevin McCarthy.
Because
McCarthy would not cancel the investigation of him.
Yeah, exactly. He got rid of Kevin McCarthy, right? So Matt Gaetz, and I heard this earlier today, may be the one person, if we go through confirmations, and that's a whole nother story, that the Republicans ain't gonna let through. You know what I'm saying? Because he made a lot of enemies when he got rid of McCarthy. No, they said it this morning. I heard them talking about that. McCarthy, because of what he did with McCarthy, he's got a lot of enemies on the Hill that may not even confirm him on the Republican side. He may be the one that may be at risk. So that was said today. But with that being said, let's assume in the Trump world he gets through, right?
Yeah.
Because he is.
Yeah.
That's
Because
what I'm like.
nobody,
Yeah.
They
nobody
scared of
has
Trump.
done. Nobody. We have. You're supposed to have a system of checks and balances.
Oh yeah.
They anything Trump says, they do not want to go against him. So they whatever he says, a gentleman came out this week and said, if Trump tells us to jump and scratch our heads, that's what we need to do.
Yep.
Yeah. So enough said. But basically, where I was going with this is with Matt Gaetz. One, like, he doesn't mind going after Republican enemies or whatever the case may be, and that's one reason that Trump kind of put him into play. But also, he himself has Department of Justice problems.
He showed enough to
clean up, so he's definitely gonna clean up.
You know what?
Shit.
That shit gonna put that shit up right up under the rug.
And Trump knows he's gonna clean up his shit because he's got the same thing going on. So it's just not only that, clean up their messes, but also utilize it, weaponize it, and go after his enemies, which can be Republican or Democrat.
So you have what's his name? The Secretary of Defense. You have the Tulsi Gabbard, and you have Gaetz. None of them would be able to get a security clearance.
No.
Period.
Yeah.
None of them would get a security clearance.
You know, if they were sitting on the other side of the aisle, they wouldn't even get invited to interview for the damn position, much less be elected for it.
There's a gentleman actually that when the Matt Gaetz sex trafficking and getting busy with the 17-year-old girl stuff came out, one of his partners, he's in jail for that.
Yep.
He's in jail for that behavior, and he had a lot of the evidence against Matt Gaetz.
Yep.
Additionally, Gaetz is out there on the floor showing all the females he done knocked down, and I never was satisfied by his response in reference to his adopted son Nestor from Cuba, who was 19, and he said, I adopted him at 12. Matt Gaetz was probably in his late 20s, early 30s. Like, what single man goes and adopts little kids? Well, Michael Jackson, besides Michael Jackson. but it's like, what's going on? There's something screwy about this screwy about this situation.
Yeah, man.
Well, and the thing is, the same thing P. Diddy's going through right now. The same thing Matt Gaetz has done. And I don't think people elevate it like that, which is, taking minors across, state lines. Is why P. Diddy got Homeland Security on his ass right now and is locked up. Same thing. Nothing different.
Yeah, absolutely correct. Yeah.
And it sounds like the story you just told right there, it sounds like he's grooming this 12-year-old or whatever the hell they were claiming that Diddy was. The same type of fucking behavior. I can guarantee you, if Diddy was up for a cabinet position right now,
he might get one.
Right now
he might get one.
Him and Donald Trump was in photos together. They was chilling. You never know. Hey, but one thing I do know is that at the end of the day, Matt Gaetz is gonna be all over the motherfucking Justice Department trying to fuck that shit up, make it just using it, weaponizing it in a bad way. And something else that's about to get attacked just totally is the whole damn government, because Elon Musk is in charge of the Department of Government Efficiency, Doge. So that's what we're gonna talk about next, because Doge is crazy. Donald Trump created the Department of Government Efficiency and named Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy as its top officials. So their job will be to dismantle government bureaucracy, slash excess regulations, cut wasteful expenditures, and restructure government agencies. Sounds good on the surface. Now, Ace, what are some of the dangers of the new department, and are these the right people to lead it?
Hell no. Hell fucking no. Wow. I mean, you can just see what Elon Musk did with Twitter. You know what I'm saying? If you just want to be real.
Exactly. And that is the model that they said that he would potentially use as to how to do things.
Have you looked at Twitter lately?
No, because I just deactivated my account.
Oh, you can't look at Twitter. Like, your wife would divorce you if you look at fucking Twitter now. That shit is horrible.
Well, that's come up, as well as I saw there was a recent study done, and they said the individual who has propagated the most falsehoods on Twitter
is Elon Musk. Yeah, he started
because they had no checks and balances.
no
They,
checks and
they used to, flag things and not make you take things down. Now they don't.
Yeah, Elon Musk is a real life comic book villain. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like he's real life. Like the shit, that we read when we look at these goddamn Marvel and all that shit, that's him, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? Trying to rule the fucking world for real, on some real shit, because he's the richest man around, and trying to gravitate all that power and do that. Department of Government Deficiency, that sounds very, I ain't gonna say that they the Gestapo, but that's Gestapo-ish. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really scary. They're gonna be able to go out and just cut out government shit the way they want to, and Project 2025 the fuck out of this. You know what I'm saying?
It's very broad, bro. Like, it's over government. That's so broad. Like, to your point, they could just go in and they don't like something, cut it. That's inefficient.
That's inefficient.
It's inefficient. Let's get rid of that.
Anything they don't like,
it's exactly just like to your point earlier. Well, the election, they cheating until we win. Then it's good, right? And if we don't like this part of government,
anything else about cheating?
On
the election,
exactly. And if they don't like something with the elections or whatever, that's excessive. We're getting rid of it. Whatever.
So we're letting the most successful businessman, right, in the country, right, have the power to go through and slash government regulations, things that are like that don't allow him to make money, like
he would benefit from.
And maybe what in social media, that's basically them holding them accountable for not being able to tell us bullshit and do shit and all kinds of stuff like that. The protections that they have against people, like nah, bro. You can't get
the conflicts of interest with him is just bizarre, because they have SpaceX has all these government contracts. One of the things they said was, Donald Trump is looking to get rid of the tax credit for EVs, and they're like, oh, it'll harm Tesla, but it's going to crush his competitors. There'll be no competitors that can rise up to really be a true threat to Tesla, because they don't have the infrastructure at this time to really compete.
Right.
And so what do you think what would his position be in terms of that? He's gonna try to make money.
Yeah,
that's what he's gonna do.
Yeah.
Conflict, the conflicts of interest are gonna be.
It's insane. It's already started.
And what's his name? Vivek Ramaswamy.
This nigga said top ramen swami.
That's a good name for him. I like it. Keep it.
Everything come out of this fucking mouth is bullshit.
For real.
You know what I'm saying? He talks bad about immigration. Your parents just got here 40 years ago, motherfucker.
You know what I'm saying?
He talks bad about all. You went to Harvard, but you went on the fact of who you were. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? And you got this guy along with Lex Luthor running the fucking, running this department.
Lex Luthor.
Motherfucker, man. You know what I'm saying?
Oh shit.
Where's the black jobs?
Oh, come on, man. I was gonna say that. What Tim Scott get? Tim Scott ain't gonna get nothing.
He ain't got nothing.
Nope.
None.
That nigga kissed all that ass for nothing.
The other dude.
That nigga got orange lips right now from all that ass he
I love you. Remember that shit?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, he ain't even gonna try. Like, Trump ain't even gonna try. Like, look, I'm not even gonna play like
I'm giving him no job.
I'm not even gonna play like I'm gonna give, and if I do, it's gonna be some bullshit.
Department of Janitors.
HUD. They always give HUD.
Yeah.
Housing and urban development shit. Nigga, you don't give me the fucking house to run the projects, nigga. That's what I gotta do. I gotta go look about low income housing. That's what you're gonna put me on, my black ass.
Mm-hmm. That's what. Hey, they did all that ass kissing. I seen a picture with a whole bunch of appointments and potential appointments, and I ain't see a single black face.
Nothing.
Yeah, nothing. And we're not going to, man. It's unfortunate, but he has always been put in he puts what he think is right in your face. He don't hide shit. He's never hidden anything.
Anything he
Never.
says, if he says you do it,
yeah,
he's done it or he's doing it.
And let me tell you something. He ain't ashamed to do it because he got 70-something million motherfuckers voting for him, regardless of what he says. Now, I can't really speak to the content of their character, those 70-something million people, because I know there's variables. Some people are voting for him because they think they're going to get money and they think the economy is going to get better. Some people are racist, so that's why they voting for him. If some people, they may not be racist, but the point I always bring up is like, if you want to race with somebody, you wouldn't mind having a head start. I wouldn't if I want to win that race. That's where some white people are at. They may not be racist, but I'll take a head start, motherfucker. If I can get one, I don't want to be equal with you.
Trickle down.
Yeah, they want the trickle down, and that don't mean that they're racist. That's how America is.
That them and their children are going to have an advantage.
Exactly, they want that, and they may not be racist. They may not be, but they want that. Now, does that make them racist by definition? I don't think so. But it makes them wrong. Put it that way.
Yeah, absolutely.
But they may not be racist. They just want to have a fucking head start or some shit, and they want their kids to. Now, I would love that shit too. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not in a position to get that. Right. They would suffer if I get that.
That's why I've already reconciled myself to the fact that, hey, we're here.
Yeah.
And don't call me up for the Black Lives Matter march. I ain't going to Juneteenth. Black History Month, I'm be on my back porch. Because when people start catching hell, hey, that's what y'all voted for, or you didn't vote.
Yes.
Or you voted for a candidate that was not going to win on principle. You cut your nose off to spite your face. Yeah. Now here we are. Now we all gonna be in this boat together.
Yes, sir.
Suffering.
Hey,
I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna have a good cabin at least.
Yeah. So, I want to break this down, man, because I think it's time for us to start taking I'll take a few phone calls here, man. So if you like the conversation that you had today and you want to get down with us, have a conversation and be part of the show, call us at 210-728-6581. You can see the phone number at the bottom of your screen right now. It's 210-728-6581. Like I said before, if you're talking crazy shit, you will get the click. But if not, call us up. Let's talk. Let's chat. Let's get into something. So while we're waiting for any phone calls to come in, I'm going to go through a few of the comments that we had, see if we want to kind of talk about them. So let's see here. We got. So Preston Todasau, I think I'm saying it right, said she sees Sioux people as immigrants, and that was Tulsi Gabbard, I think, South Dakota. That's Christy Noam. Thank you.
She sees Sioux people.
The Sioux and the indigenous people. She sees them as immigrants.
Hey, all I have to say is, never mind what we were all taught. We were all taught growing up. At some point, all of us in this room probably say, "Man, the damn Native Americans should have scalped them fools."
Man, as soon as that boat landed,
Thanksgiving, they should have sat over there and watched them suffer. You know, because who'd have thought? You know.
Yeah.
I mean, their name says it all. Native Americans means they were here before you, bruh.
Indigenous people.
Yeah, hey, it's two people. I always say it's two races that aren't immigrants. That's Native Americans and Black people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We did not come over here voluntarily.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So once we got out of bondage, we were made citizens. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else here, y'all are immigrants. Like you the immigrant talking about somebody's an immigrant. What are you talking about, man?
Yeah. Hey, so on to the topic of immigration. So we had Warber said, I will say, I'm in New York. We have 500,000 aliens. Can't say if it's illegal, if they're illegal or legal, but they are thick in the United States.
In New York, there's a big old statue out there that welcomes everybody in the world that comes here.
That came from France.
And it says we welcome you poor, and I don't know about art, but it pretty much says immigrants come this way. Mm-hmm. That's how this country was built. Just because you was here first don't mean that you better. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Yep. Now, do we have an immigration problem? Yeah, we have a problem with the process and all.
We got a problem with the process.
Yeah, and all of that.
So the irony is you have a situation where you had these people saying they're going to go round up all these people and deport them. okay, I can guarantee you this: when they're doing that, some people who are here legally and are citizens are going to get caught up in that net, and they're going to be deported somewhere. And I say, a lot of these people don't know the difference between a Mexican, a Puerto Rican, or Dominican.
That's right.
You're going to get caught up. You're going to go back, and some of y'all, their relatives, their friends voted for that behavior. So some people gonna catch some strays, man. That's what's gonna happen, and people gonna suffer.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about him, but the borders are. He already said he don't give a damn.
Hell no.
That dude.
He kicking out what they call anchor babies and shit. He kicking out everybody.
He's kicking out spouses. If you're American and your spouse is not a citizen, she can get it. Yeah. And they was like, "You gonna split up families?" He said, "No, they can leave too."
Yeah. No, that dude is racist. Like it ain't no thing around. Like he got the card. He shows up to the parties. He's on the shows. He don't give a damn.
He's at his house making up black jokes.
Here's the deal.
He said making up black jokes.
And you never hear, when the last time you heard a good white joke? We don't sit around and think about stuff like that. But you always hear a joke about another race.
Yeah. And here's the deal. This election just proved one thing. I mean, some people, racism is not a problem for them.
Exactly.
That's it. And it's not a problem to the point where they're willing to vote. They're okay with it.
Yeah,
and that's the whole thing. Oh yeah, some it's racist stuff going on.
They turn away and look.
It's okay with it.
Yeah,
but we gonna see how okay it is when it rolls out.
Well, here's the reality. I always say everything folks had no problem with it. It wasn't until the white people from the north got on those buses and went down south and started getting hit in the head with them nightsticks. And people saw those pictures, which they said, "Whoa, this is crazy. This is why they're beating the white people too." Yeah, that was the catalyst for change. As long as it was black people getting beaten, fire hoses and dogs, they was cool with it. It wasn't them.
Yeah. I think it was like you said, it was seeing the white people get hit and then seeing little kids get hit too. It was probably a combination of the two, but I know they're not, like you said, they don't want to see the white people get beat up like that. And that kind of leads me to like what you guys were talking about a minute ago is like, hey, you okay with it until you see it happening to you. Like you said, the white people. Same thing just happened with those text messages. We know that last week or the beginning of this week, I can't remember exactly when it was. There were some text messages that went out to black folks talking about show up at your local, whatever, you're going to be enslaved. You're going to be sent to pick cotton, shit like that. Well, guess what came out yesterday? Same type of text message to Hispanics. Talk about we're gonna send you to please show up at the local deportation center at blah blah blah. You're about to be deported out of this country. Da, 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 da. So remember how we talk a lot about how like Hispanics they don't seem to get that you ain't white. These things you fighting for.
They gonna come for
you act like you act like you oblivious to this shit. You're not, and now you getting them text messages. You know what I'm saying?
Now it's a problem.
Yeah, now it's a problem. To your point, it ain't a problem until it start happening to you.
People don't understand that segregation ain't no old thing. It's very new. Like my mom dealt with segregation. She's still living. You know what I'm saying? Like that's new. That hasn't. We haven't been so far away from segregation to the point where we should be comfortable with it. Like, we can go back to segregation.
People are still alive that lived under that.
Yes,
they have laws on the books that say they can still divide up the restrooms, bro. They got laws.
It wasn't until 1968 where you can have interracial marriage.
Exactly. This ain't nothing. This is very new, and so we gonna see. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. You let the inmates run the asylum. What actually happened?
Well, speaking of laws, Warba said that Trump put Tulsi and Matt Gaetz in charge of the agencies that were investigating them. Things will get interesting if these nominations go through.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'll say this. I don't know what because my belief is that Donald Trump gets assistance from probably Russia and has intelligence, and he can use that to leverage people's behavior. He can you have these people, you say Lindsey Graham. Lindsey Graham, I can't, he can't stand him or whatever. But I think we spoke about this before. But when they broke into the DNC, they also broke into the RNC. But you didn't hear anything about their information.
Yeah.
Now, Lindsey Graham, he probably lives a lifestyle that is kind of fancy.
Oh,
but
yeah.
if that information was potentially to get out, that would, his whole position in the Republican Party would probably blow up in his face, because that is just not something that's not the type of lifestyle that they cared to have people representing them.
Oh yeah, they talk a lot of shit about it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Lindsey Graham been to a couple of freak offs. You know that.
Well, speaking of freak offs, Warba asked, "Do you think Trump will pardon Diddy?"
That's a good question, honey.
I think if Trump is transactional.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
If Diddy has any information on Trump, there's two things that can happen. He could get Epsteined or potentially get pardoned. But the reality is, I don't think Diddy would get pardoned, because I think he's in jail because he bumped up against the real power brokers. You little black man dancing around with gold chains. We let you have this and we let you have that. You were making $60 million a year just off a year from this liquor situation, and we let you have that. And now you coming back calling us racist and you want more. So here's where the power really is. Those are the people that probably more align themselves with Trump than Diddy. Diddy, he's I believe that the powers that be pick and choose minorities that they want to elevate in society, to potentially afford us someone to be able to look at as a success and say that we can, we potentially could attain that. But in some dark room with the rest of the Legion of Doom members sitting around a round table, they probably make a decision as to who they're gonna pick.
Yeah,
I think this is his best chance. I'm pretty sure he's got ties and connections to Trump. I'm pretty sure that if he comes up with the right number, he may be able to get some leniency somehow. You never know. You know what I'm saying? They both from New York. They both walked into the same circles, and I believe you with the power brokers. But he's transactional. Pretty sure if he puts money in Trump's pocket, he could, that part can go away. Especially if Matt Gaetz is in charge of the.
He don't have enough money. He don't have enough money to do that. His situation would be he would have to bring the minority community to Trump and try to probably potentially make us believe that, hey, this is the guy for us. Would R. Kelly, is he gonna pardon R. Kelly?
No, hell no. But R. Kelly's not federal.
Yes, it is.
Is it federal? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't think he's gonna pardon. No, we know he ain't gonna pardon R. Kelly.
Maybe he'll pardon both of them and sign them to his label.
I mean,
shit, MAGA Records.
They said it would be like, these dumbass coons are dancing and make a record. We putting out MAGA's death.
Put some African
we coming
drums.
out with death MAGA records.
We've been waiting for R. Kelly to drop on from prison, right?
For real. Hey, I got another comment on here. I think we're gonna close that out after this one, but we got Warba staying engaged. I appreciate you being on here, Warba, asking all these questions and getting into the content with us. He said, basically, we were talking about immigration, and he said that's like Columbus discovered America. So I did post something on the Facebook page. It was a map of North America that showed all of the indigenous tribes before, like pre-colonial times.
Yeah, I saw that.
You know what I'm saying? And it, like he said, America had a name. It was called Turtle Island. That was the indigenous name for it. Like, because they have a belief in one of their religions that, basically the island sits on a turtle's back or something like that, like some whatever. But that's part of their religion. So, or one of the tribes anyway. So it had a name, it had people, it had all kind of shit. They named this motherfucker after Amerigo Vespucci. That's who America's named after. It wasn't called America the whole time. There were people here, bro. You can't discover something if someone's already there.
No, they were standing on the shore saying, "What is that out there?" Those were the sails of the ships that were coming. Yeah. They were lost. That's why they call them Indians. They thought they were in India.
They thought they were in India. Yep.
And if we want to be real, Anglo-Saxon, which is what we're based off behind, they weren't even there first. Spanish were here first.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so the Spanish were here, i.e. Mexico. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So honestly, you're talking about the Mexican immigrants of this.
Well, they actually have found artifacts that would say that Vikings used to come.
Oh yeah, of course.
To America as
Leave
well.
Erickson and all.
Yeah, mm-hmm. The Vikings came to America up around Minnesota and all that.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Minnesota. And if you really want to get into the deal, when they go to the pyramids down in Mexico, they see African descent there out of this.
Yeah,
out of their statues and everything. So I mean, it's crazy on who was here first or whatever the case may be. But what we do know is the people that are shouting immigrants and they weren't here first. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
They late to the party.
Yeah. We also know that they just Oklahoma, they put those Trump Bibles in all the school classrooms.
Crazy. Trump. Hey man, I do want to say thank you everybody for joining us today, man. It's been a great show. I mean, next time, make sure y'all give us a call. Call in if you want to talk with us. It's all gravy.
Yeah, we'll get that number out.
Yeah, we'll make sure like every show is going to be going across the bottom of the screen. So if you're watching, if you want to call instead of putting a comment, call us up. You know what I mean? We'll holler at you. We'll talk with you through whatever conversations we need to have. But I want to thank everybody for joining us today. I want to thank Tina for keeping me straight on those comments over there on our production. I want to thank Dr. Sizer for joining us today. Hanging out with us and, always being open to helping us out on the show. And then my man Ace always bringing the knowledge and the perspective to the game that he brings from that independent lens. So, hey, I just want to thank you all, and we will see you again next week.